Hi friends, this is Fernando Petri here, and today I want to show you how I record my slap sound, okay? I'm using here the easiest notion of an EQ, okay? We're gonna use only three bands, and it's gonna be the easiest way to understand, using only the low, the mid-range, and the bright, the high part of the spectrum. But before I talk about the specific frequencies and how the setup looks like, we need to first understand two things. I usually play the slap using an active bass, so my preamps are already having some sort of setup. So if I do that on the bass, I obviously don't have to redo it on the EQ, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, we need to understand where the bass frequencies are found. So let's start here at the low end. Let's understand where most of the low and the low bass sounds are. And they are somewhere around 150, okay, up to 350 hertz. Write this down. And then how much gain you want to add, this is up to you. I'm not gonna get into this, okay? So this is where the low ends are. The mid-range, where most of the bass sound is, here on number 2. Most of the bass sound is somewhere around 300 to 900 hertz, okay? So write this down, somewhere between 900 and 300, okay? All this area over here is where you can find, is where most of the bass, the mid-range of the natural sound is, okay? Then let's move to the highest part of the EQ, which is the most important, okay? If you want a bright slap sound, you need to add a high frequency to it, okay? And the bright bass sounds usually are in between 1500 hertz, okay, number 3 here, up to 5000 hertz, okay? In this area is where you can add the brighter part, the brighter shape of your tone here. How the gain you want to add is up to you, okay? If I'm using, again, if I'm using an active bass, I don't have to do anything. But if I happen to record the slap sounds with a passive bass, my EQ would look a little bit like this. Let me get this to you. In the mid-range that goes from 300 to 900, I would have a cut like this around the 500 hertz, okay? And I also would have a cut on the low end, okay? Something in between, probably 200, let's say, okay? So I have a cut on the sound here. So this is a little bit like how I would have my EQ to prepare my slap bass sound using a passive instrument, okay? Please keep in mind that the bass drum, the low kicks of the bass drum, which is something that can really get on the way, they are from 50, you can, let me put a 0 here, no gain here. They can be from 50 to around 150. This is the area of the very low end of the bass drum, okay? So you might have to cut something in there sometimes depending on how the drums are sounding. Sometimes when you give a cut on the low kick, we call it the low area of the bass drum, that helps with your bass sound in the mix as well, Okay guys, I hope this was very helpful. Have fun with it.